We have two samples of the interwoven 4-in-1 here. The first one isn't exactly what we're looking for. The center rings aren't pointing to the left. This sample, however, is exactly what we're looking for because all the middle rings are pointed to the right. Alright, we finished the bulk of our interwoven 4-in-1. Now comes the trickiest part of almost every stretchy chainmail weave, is connecting the two ends. So, if you followed our instructions, you can assure yourself that you have begun the weave with the correct amount of rubber and metal rings, and you've ended it just the same. So to connect these two ends, I'm going to start with the right side of my weave. I'm going to grab the bottom two rubber rings, and then that's only 2 rings, and there needs to be 4 rubber rings on this metal ring in total, and those 2 rings are going to come from the very beginning of our weave. So what we're going to do, we're going to go straight through the front of our left flanking ring and then around the back for our second and final rubber ring. Now the nice thing about rubber chainmail is I can take these pliers and I can push all the rubber rings out of the way, because these duckbills, they have a lot of room, which is something you're definitely going to want with these 14 gauge rings. So once I have that guy connected, I'm going to do a quick double check. I'm going to turn the weave inside out and check out all these center rings. They're all laying in the same way and they're all pointing in the same direction, so we're looking good. I'm going to turn this guy back around and we're going to close it with these last 2 rings. Okay? We're going to take this metal ring and put it through the front of this middle ring, and it's going to go down through this left flanking ring. After that, we're going to come up through the next closest left flanking ring, and then the last ring is the hardest one to get to. We're going to come down through the next middle ring, and then we're going to close it. Now the nice thing about these duckbill pliers is they got a lot of space on the pliers, so you need that space with these 14 gauge rings. And the stretchy chainmail is nice because you can just push those rubber rings out of the way so you can get the space you need to get at these 14 gauge rings. So we're going to give this guy a little stretch, see how it looks. Everything looks like it's laying in the same direction. We're looking good. Time to move on to our last ring. Now this guy's going to go on in the same fashion, just on the right side of the weave. We're going to go through the middle ring and immediately go down through the right flanking ring. After that, we're going to come up through the next closest right flanking ring, and then we have that one tricky ring left. We're going to give it a little pull with our fingers so we can make that stretch, and we're going to come down through the top of that ring. And once again, I'm going to push all those rubber rings out of the way so I get enough space to use my pliers, and then close that ring up. And then our last check, see how we did. Give it a little stretch. Everything looks like it's laying in the right direction. Can't tell where I started or where I ended. Everything looks great.